crystal cool. All right, welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Okay, so there's that. All right, here's this.
Look at this dude.
All right. This is very strange. All right, this is a good one to start off with. This is yours?
We're a little bright. That's how I had it yesterday. Well, that's too bright. Too dark.
So maybe put the middle one
Yeah,
on.
yeah, you have it like that. You can just tune it down.
Okay.
Maybe you still have the middle one on yet? I don't know.
Do you want it on?
Yeah, that's what the middle one on.
Tony looks a little smoked out.
Yeah.
And
Little fuzzy.
Easy.
there. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's dim but not dark. It's good. That's the way to do it. Beautiful, just beautiful.
Recording.
Yeah, well, yeah. It doesn't matter. We're just getting, raw footage.
How's everybody lighting?
What?
Everybody's lighting? Okay.
Everybody's lighting is good. Everybody's lighting is good. Oh yes. There we go. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the show.
All right. So this is yours? You want to set it up?
Oh, wait.
This is Chambers here.
We didn't even come up with a name yet.
No,
the same,
we didn't.
The same one. Alright. So,
That's not
obviously
yours?
we know what I threw out originally. But I did come
That's-
up with...
Whose is this?
It's yours.
That's mine.
Hundreds of witnesses, military, police. What is going on in Venezuela?
What?
So,
That's not my link.
I'll throw these out
You said
right
it's a
quick.
YouTube. You sent me 3 YouTube links.
Yeah.
Outside of the Anomalytics, last night I was just kind of throwing stuff up in my mind. Question everything.
Ooh, nice.
Seeking knowledge. What's happening? Conversation unknown.
Ooh,
I like that one a lot.
nice.
And talking ish.
Okay, nice. My mom suggested buddies chatting. I looked. Unfortunately, it's already taken. So
Nuts.
damn.
Buddies chat.
Dang it. Buddies
Because we're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. We're the 3.
Yes. Yes.
So,
There we go.
I don't know. I like conversation unknown a lot.
Yeah, it's not bad. The Unknown. It makes me think of that one old song, Destination Unknown. Remember?
That's a TV show, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Can I see a list of my links real quick?
Nope.
No, you can't.
Yeah, we can.
Oh. Just
All right. Here, boom.
because I saw when you were adding them in. So.
All right. So, so you sent me
Yeah,
recent.
those 3 right there.
So we could actually
Those
move
are-
from this right into, well, the Venezuelan gangsters are also taking
Let me go
over.
back. Maybe I
Aurora.
clicked on something.
Yeah, these are okay. So the first one is the guy that says how. There we go. Let's roll with that one first.
Nice.
You
Up
need to
here,
bring
I'm
over-
gonna get them queued up here. Got one.
And then the other 2 after.
Pause. And here. Beautiful.
So the Venice.
There you go. This
That's the
last
how.
one.
That's the first one.
This is the bottom one. So.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yep. And we've got all these queued up. So yeah. Okay. So you did send it. It must have just been a weird start. So we have this. Wait, where was it?
We're gonna go back. Okay.
This is yeah.
Nope. Nope.
That.
Yep.
Let me pause this. Okay. Good.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right. Here we go. Let's pull.
All right. So you got it. Okay. So here, this is about.
Get real close.
I'm gonna get
that
real
bedroom
close. I'm gonna
voice.
serenade this bitch. talk gently into your ear.
There you go.
All right.
Massage the microphone in the
How was
audience.
that?
It's perfect. It's perfect.
All right. So anyway, there's like the Maui fires, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, holy shit. The whole place just burned down in like 2 seconds with
In a really weird way, like
yeah.
weird shit didn't burn.
yeah.
Just happened to miss all the
anything-
celebrity houses and stuff.
Anything that was blue. So
Right. Like umbrellas. Oh yeah, umbrellas. Yeah.
apparently, the blue. So you know,
And I
take a
heard
peek
something
at this
about a
one.
beam. Like somebody saw a beam or something. I don't know if he talks
Yeah.
about that.
Apparently, anything that's blue does not burn. Now you have people all over the world, especially in China, painting the roofs of their houses blue just in case this does happen to them. So,
Nice. Let's check it out.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me. We need to change the output here. This goes to here, and we're coming through the speakers. There we go. Okay, one more time.
Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. I'm here next to the infamous blue umbrellas. How these things survived the fire, I have absolutely no idea. Because what's crazy is, here you have completely intact umbrella. However, right behind me, check this out. You have
Dang.
melted steel.
Melted steel.
Temperatures were high enough right here to melt this steel, obviously char this wood, and yet this entire bank of umbrellas basically
Melt the
remains
steel, but
intact.
char the wood.
And next to the umbrellas, you have this wood art that's still perfectly fine. Even this wood railing right here, maybe made out of teak, I don't know. But it's still looking great.
Note to self: buy
fabric right here.
teak.
I got a
Still
guy.
intact.
I got a guy.
Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm gonna say 12 feet away. You've got that. I don't know how that's physically possible. In the comments, let me know what you think.
All right.
How is that happen? How
Interesting.
can that happen? How is
How
it
does
possible?
that happen?
I mean, okay, fire retardant umbrellas, I get it. Okay, maybe.
Oh,
But wood,
fair point.
fabric,
Fabric's blue.
wood here.
So I
don't know
guess
about the wood.
to play devil's advocate, the thing that comes to mind is those videos of steel mills where they've got the the steel, the glowing hot metal steel that's like coming out of the machine, and then they have to feed it into another one. Like, you can be around it. It's gonna be hot as fuck, but like that's the temperature. But it's like, why was the wood just charred though? That's the weird thing. Like, if the steel is in that condition,
You think about the burning degree temperatures between wood and then melting steel.
Thousands of degrees.
Go back to the World Trade Center. I mean, the difference in temperature for that is insane. So you'd think, like, I mean, even some of the hardest wood in the world would have been more than charred. It's kind
watched
of
a-
crazy to me.
I watched a video yesterday of this guy with a blue laser popping different colors of balloons. And
Okay.
once he got to a clear balloon, nothing happened. But he had a black balloon inside of the clear balloon, and then he moved it to the black balloon inside of the clear balloon and pop.
Yep. I
And
can.
went to the blue balloon, nothing.
So I bet I know what's happening there.
What he said is that the clear and the blue spreads the diodes.
For the photons?
The photons, it spreads them. It doesn't focus
Disperses
at
it.
all the energy
Sure.
into it if it's
Right.
blue or
When,
clear.
when there's a color, like an opaque color, part of that, whatever color the laser is, will get absorbed. And then when it gets absorbed, that transfers some of the energy into heat, which is why you'll get them to pop. But if it's clear, I don't think, not that none of it will absorb, but not enough to probably heat it. And then if there's one inside of it, it could pass through the clear one, and then so there's probably, like, it's like a cool science experiment kind of thing for sure.
So it brings us back to just to wrap this up real quick, what's happening with everything burning? There's even cars melting aluminum rims, and right next to it is a house standing intact because their roof was blue.
No, who knows? It's weird. Like, that's for
Rods
sure.
from God, my friend.
Oh, those are good ones.
That's what it is.
That's another episode.
It's the military.
The kinetic energy weapon, the tungsten rods that are the size of telephone poles.
That's
dude.
what I'm saying. Yeah, buddy.
Tesla death ray, man.
So I guess my closing note on that would be, I've got a friend of my family that's got a big farm out in Iowa. No cattle, but there's it's just like a plain sort of like grass growing. He has controlled burns every year, and to control burns with high grass, you rake. And just by raking, so like some grass is up, some grass is raked, that's how you can control what burns and what doesn't to a certain degree. Of course, you need to be like there to stand by in case shit gets out of control. But if you have a huge area of land, you can do simple things like that to control blazes that would otherwise. He has to have this fire department come out to like be ready. But if you've got an acre or two or more of land and you need to burn the grass rather than cut it, that's how you do it. I guess it's a weird like old school low tech method, but so there are cases where blazes can be controlled in unexpected ways. It doesn't really translate, but it just kind of, I don't know.
You should talk to the wildfire people and give them some tips.
Yeah, dude.
But I did want to circle back on one
live
thing.
interviews.
Back on that like laser thing and kind of burning different colors. You know, I know that there is some science behind like the darker the color, the higher the concentration of heat. So
The
like if
sweeter
you're
the
wearing black
juice.
t-shirt in summer, you're gonna be hotter if you're wearing a white t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that might play a slight role into it, but
I'm
the
that
blue
guy.
I would kind of consider a darker color. So that to me, kind of, I don't fully get it. I don't.
Right. Oh man. Well,
Right.
is
Moving
this
on here, this is
Iranian military?
my whatever I want to talk about subject here. This is about UFOs, because this is going to be a reoccurring thing for me. You're going to hear a lot about UFOs from me because I absolutely love this shit. So this one is a video that I hung on to for a long time. It's the Iranian military just unloading on this UFO, and they can't hit this thing for shit. Just kind of gives you an idea of like, damn, we're screwed.
Nice.
Well, check this out.
Let's
It's
check
pretty
it
interesting.
out.
Just laughing at it.
Oh, there it is. I see it. What the fuck?
That was some speed, man.
Come on back again. Let me just.
This reminds me a lot of that.
Those
Battle
are
of
50
Los
cal
Angeles.
rounds too, aren't they?
It's just laughing
Straight
at it.
50 cals. Can't
Yeah.
hit it.
Each one of those
Battle
is
of
50
Los
cal.
Angeles. You ever see that video? Almost just like this. Happened in 50s, 60s, something like that.
Every one of them tracer rounds is like every 4 bullets, too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. If you just hold it down, it's like $100,000 every few seconds.
And you know, the thing is, that
Damn.
thing was just going back and forth. If it was just like, cruising on about its day, just zipping by like a normal UFO, that's one thing. But the thing is like fucking with them, coming back again. Like, I can't
At
touch
the
it.
beginning, too, I swear I saw that thing like do a dart up, shift down, and then it.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody was talking about what if, because our brains can't wrap around being in a vehicle that moves like that, because you die. Like the G-forces would
Yeah,
like turn you
your
into
brains
soup.
against the wall.
So, like, do you guys think that it's possible that those aren't holding alien life forms? They're just alien drones, maybe? You think?
Possibly.
I mean,
I
but they might
personally do.
I think from what I'm gathering is through the anti-gravity technology allows them to do that kind of shit.
Right. The stuff Bob Lazar talks about. I don't know if you've. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So they're
like,
not-
I know I
they
mentioned
create
this
their
last time.
own space.
Right.
while they're
Yeah.
moving through time.
Right.
I get the concept, but like me and Tony talk about this a lot. Like, I don't actually believe in aliens as extraterrestrials from other planets. I believe they're interdimensional, and I believe stuff like that is more of like just a projection or how they're choosing to appear.
Sure.
And it makes a lot more sense for me for a being to interdimensionally travel than to travel intergalactically. You know, what I
the
mean?
space is it's hard to make the numbers work even with light speed or near light speed travel.
Right.
It's still going to take for fucking ever.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's for them to have, like you said, live aliens in there. If it was extraterrestrials, let's just grant you that. I think it would be some type of like robotic or android AI,
Like a remote control thing.
Quite
So
possibly
they're
they
just-
figured out some way of like, they have a mothership where
Yeah, they're sitting up. That's what I was gonna say. They're sitting up at the
Yeah, they're
mothership
just
with the
sending
remote
it out.
control. Like, look at these idiots.
right. There's like maybe a colony of them out there.
Right.
We don't even.
Well, it's like in Black Mirror, we were talking about that
Sounds like
lady
some
that,
shit we would do.
that like was the home personal assistant with the guy that made her wait, and she was just a copy. That like what do they call it? Like the cookie they like extract it. Yeah. What if it's just something like that? Like they just take it out and it's just like a copy of who knows? Who knows?
So think about the Neuralink thing Elon Musk was doing. Let's say you had one of those. Download your consciousness. You could put that into any computer or anything and basically have another you.
I'm working on my own homebrewed version. It's gonna be a few years, but yeah,
freaking me out, man.
I always tell everybody, like, so we're already basically androids. Our phones, they're not attached to us, but they're kind of attached to us, and these extend our functionality as humans by orders of magnitude. We have the entire encyclopedia and then some, so it's like we're halfway there. I'll be the first one in line when they make this more publicly accessible. If I could get a chip in my hand,
It's the mark of the beast.
no, it would keep me from losing my keys. See, I understand all the technology. It's not like I'm going to be putting AI. I'd be putting an RFID chip in me. It's just because, like, that way I don't have to find my wallet when I go out. Just go up to my car. Good to go.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy. I'm telling you, bro. This guy's. I bet you underneath this table there's like a pentagram or something.
Maybe it isn't the mark of the beast, but you know what? We'll just have to find it. You first, Penny.
I'll tell you what. Never ever.
All right, moving on.
Absolutely. Awesome.
This last one is just is that it? I don't think that one's.
Yeah, this is your last one.
Is it?
Yep.
Afectando
It'll be a surprise.
That's not it. That's not it.
No, you sent it to me.
No, that's not it. It's the one. If you go back to the list,
All right. Yeah.
I don't know why that one keeps popping up, man.
Because it's the last one in your list.
It's meant to
You
be.
can see it on.
Here.
Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. I'm here next to the infamous
Is this that one?
See if you look at see where that guy's face is right there.
This one?
That one.
It says this is very strange. So yeah, if I zoom in,
That's the one.
this is very strange. I think it just starts out weird, probably. Here, let me.
Afectando walking
Fast
in vivo.
forward.
It'll be the surprise. It's only 2
Just
minutes.
peek through it. A little bit, like on the bottom, just kind of run.
Hasta hay tráfico. Porque todos quieren tomar foto.
I should have had a timestamp on this one. Keep going,
policía?
keep going, keep going. Keep going,
This.
keep going. There's some
Watch
pretty
it.
cool shit.
Spooks top
There's some pretty
five
cool
or
shit
what?
in this one. Okay,
Cruise
go back.
shit?
Go back. There. Go tell that guy.
Right here.
There you go.
Okay.
Right there. There you go. Watch this.
Nice.
Just gonna get your thoughts on this one, guys.
¿Pero qué carajo pasa aquí?
catch that, man?
¡Pero qué carajo está pasando aquí! ¡Hostia!
happening?
Is he,
You must have missed it.
Well, that thing was hovering.
Yeah,
And just
rewind
dunked
it.
like a
Just a
rock.
tad.
go back?
Yeah, go back. I don't think you saw it, man.
Okay, let's see. We'll go
Go
right.
right to the. Watch it. Watch him. Watch this.
In the water or the sky?
No, on the right side here.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Oh, wait, what?
Watch it.
Oh, shit. See, I didn't catch it because my eyes aren't trained to, like, look for things that move that unnaturally. That's crazy.
So what do you guys think? I mean, there's helicopters. Is this pretty hard to fake with the copters and the jets flying by? And
Speaking perfectly candidly, it's extremely easy to fake.
So,
Like, you
yeah.
saw the Unreal Engine shit that, like, you can just download it and just do it. Not to say, but that's the problem. It's hard to draw the line because you can record a perfectly legitimate video and it looks exactly like this. So it's
The only reason I brought this one up is because I've seen it numerous times through various shows, and it never came up as like, this is bullshit. It's always
Yeah,
like,
well,
dude, this is effed up.
I gotta be honest, man. I think it's a cool video, and I'll tell you, like, obviously this is in a different country, but you know, here living in Wisconsin, we see that they run at military drills over the Great Lakes all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
They got fighter jets, they got helicopters. So on both sides of this, I think this is really cool. But let's say you were out fishing, whatever, you caught this military exercise, then you Photoshop in the alien. But that splash, bro, that splash, I don't know how to explain that because that looked too perfect.
it was like an Olympic diver, you know, going in, like where it's
That's what I'm saying.
It's
It
not
was like-
impossible, but you gotta
It's like
have
you
a,
took like one of those river rocks, like a big one that's right nice and smooth. Like if you had that in the air and bloom, it was like a perfect bloop, bloop.
right.
You know
right.
what I mean? It was
Yep.
crazy.
So
And-
take a vote.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I was gonna say, and they've spotted some like underground anomalies off the coast of like San Diego, where it looks like it's almost
That's a
like
base.
airplane hangar underwater.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
So
It's
what do you
like-
think, guys? Watch it again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to pause it
before that.
here.
Look at that splash.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like I said, it doesn't appear to be like natural movement. Not that it's impossible, but it's crazy because it really like opens up your imagination. It's like, what if we had a vehicle could move with the same agility that you can shine a laser pointer on the wall and just move it around? Like that's not impossible. It's crazy. I heard about like ones that go from 60,000 feet to sea level in
Tic-tac.
less than a second or something like that.
That
Just
Tic Tac video, man.
yeah.
And a lot of them that I've heard about UFO to USO or UAP to UAS or whatever they
What is
call
it?
them.
SFOs?
They
Submerged?
see them, yeah, the submerged one.
Yeah.
They'll see them above water, and when they go underwater, there's no break in speed. There's no splash. It's nothing. It's
So you're just like
it's just.
ignoring the water. Like, I mean, it's
so
not.
that's
but
another reason why
Defying
I'm
physics,
thinking
man.
about like why did it splash, and there's a lot of other things that
you know,
says
I have no way to like back this up scientifically. It's just a theory, but I've heard the idea be tossed around a lot, and it goes with the different dimensions. Maybe it has something to do with like a phase shift, where like you're in this dimension, but like maybe you're only partly in it to the point where you could just splash through water without splashing. I don't know.
Like I told you, Tony, I'm gonna walk through a wall one day.
Yeah, we're all gonna be levitating by the 100th
I'm gonna
episode.
ascend to that fourth dimension and just zoom.
Let's see. You had the Tesla one, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a look. This guy. He has the hacker on, and he's always asking questions. Who is this guy?
It's a long,
Right, he's
a longer
everywhere.
video. I mean, when we can skip through
yeah.
when it gets boring, but
Sure.
it starts off pretty cool of him kind of just kicking what it's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I just watched the opening to it. I'm like, this is really interesting because I love Tesla. I've read a lot about him, looked a lot into it, and if you know about ley lines and how those work around on the globe, he's really kind of delving into that. And I want to see what you guys thought about it.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we'll start fire this up. Let's get some volume here.
Fault lines. All of those are on top of fault lines.
And a crack in the crust
But yeah,
that would
he's the
allow energy to
CIA
come out.
agent,
All
isn't
of
he?
these
The X or
places.
something?
Exist in that belt.
Yes.
It's too coincidental to be coincidence.
Did you know that there's an energy grid connecting all the major pyramids, sacred sites, ancient temples, stone circles, churches, and holy mountains? These places are not randomly placed, but are believed to be intricately connected, forming a global network of energetic hotspots. This hidden lattice is thought to channel Earth's energies, linking sites of profound spiritual and historical significance across the globe. Let's take a moment to visualize this concept with an excerpt from Hugh Newman's presentation.
That goes way back several hundred, potentially thousands of years, with this idea that the Earth has a geometrical nature and that the ancients understood this and would place sites all around the planet connected up into a massive geomantic system.
As Newman illustrates, geomancy reveals a sophisticated understanding that our ancestors had of the planet's energy lines, ley lines that crisscross the globe, connecting monuments and sacred sites across different civilizations. Sacred geometry is not just a method of construction. It's an ancient metaphysical art that maps the invisible patterns underlying our physical world. It governs the way energy flows, mirroring the proportions and forms seen in nature. From nautilus shells to the vast reaches of the cosmos, ancient constructions like the pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, and the Nazca lines employ geometric ratios that reflect this profound understanding, suggesting these structures were designed to align with cosmic forces, thus enhancing the spiritual and terrestrial connectivity of the sites. The use of precise angles, symmetrical patterns, and strategic orientations in these edifices illustrates a deliberate act to bridge the earth to the heavens, channeling cosmic energies to sanctify the earth below.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Fifth
First
Element.
popularized by Alfred
and if you
Watkins.
pause this for a sec.
Yeah.
If you know a lot about Tesla, he talks about the powers of the 3, 6, and 9s. And he said if you
6,
can
9.
master that, you can master the universe.
Nice.
And he created a system for free energy. I'm sure you've seen the Tesla quiz and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He was able to create a whole grid. I mean, they even put that in that movie, The Prestige, which seemed to be more about magicians. It was really about Tesla.
Yeah.
I mean, and he had all those light bulbs lighting up out in the yard and stuff.
Right.
They're plugged in and out. And I've seen clips of people doing smaller Tesla coils
Right.
and doing the same thing.
Yep.
And basically because they couldn't monetize it,
Right.
they
so,
stole all his work, man. When he died, all that stuff was jacked. He had everywhere he went,
his big
he carried
coil.
like crates and crates and crates of research.
His big coil, they took that all apart, scrap metaled it out.
Yeah.
Well,
So I did hear something really interesting. I love Tesla. I love everything that he did and how he just broke the mold. But I did hear something that was interesting about him, and it's controversial, right? Because people seem to think that we got the bad end of the deal. You mentioned free energy, and like his system that he designed, yes, it would be a way to distribute it. There'd be no way to meter it, though, which is why some would argue that it got shut down or whatever. Either way, there's some other trade-offs other than corporate not being able to monetize it. Some people argue that with that method of power delivery, we wouldn't have any computers today, because you don't power computers with that type of energy. You don't do any work with sensitive microprocessors or anything like that. They get fried. They're not compatible. So some would say that we would be in a completely different place from a electrical developmental sort of thing. We may not have AI right now. Maybe it would be better, but it would be different for sure. Computers wouldn't exist the way that we currently know them. If Tesla's thing would have been the grid, basically.
but if electricity came up the way it did, how it did now, versus it came up how it would have came up with that? Wouldn't everything just have adapted with it as evolution of electricity in that way?
So, maybe. It has to do with the
found a
physics.
way.
We always find a way, right? Like, so like I said, it may not
This
have
is
been
what we got to
one-to-one.
work with, and
We would have just had to work with it, right? But the AC/DC thing, the way that we currently harness electricity,
say that.
it's more controllable, and then it allows us to do like CDJs, and we wouldn't have cell phones. We're basically.
I mean, I felt like you were kind of going to lead to the AC/DC thing. And I know that, I think it was Edison tried to discredit Tesla's method by frying like an elephant or whatever.
Right.
And it was a big scandal because
Topsy.
he purposely did it to discredit Tesla's and saying, oh, my way is safer and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And now what do we use? You know what I'm saying?
There's a Bob's Burgers episode about that.
But here's the thing, dude. Like, if you look at all those old buildings, churches, like old old
Like architecture.
Do you notice they always have those towers on the top of them?
Yeah, like the steeples, the ones that you wouldn't want a roof.
They were receptors for energy, man. They were receptors for energy.
I don't know about that pitch, man.
Come on, man.
Dude, what is that?
They're even saying that they're finding evidence that the pyramids had electricity. You even know what a Baghdad battery is, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
the skeptics say that they were for electroplating jewelry,
the ones
but
with,
I don't
like,
think they ever
lemon
found
juice
any of the
inside them?
electroplated jewelry.
right?
And some sort of
Solid.
acid juice inside.
Yeah, it's
right?
they can it's like citrus or some sort of a electrolyte with a carbon or copper thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm just spitballing here, but let's say Tesla made the grid, free energy, all this stuff, but we're talking about how maybe unstable it'd be for certain things like cell phone, the computers, things like that. But wouldn't we be able to like house homes, buildings, things like that with like a certain device that would regulate that input coming in and the way the output came out to where things are plugged in?
Yeah, I mean, just with an engineering, like what I know about engineering, absolutely. Like you said, we'd find a way. It would be different, probably vastly different. And then it kind of begs the question, like, maybe we wouldn't have phones. Would that be the worst thing in the world? Like, people think that we're too connected now, and I go back and forth on it.
Need to charge them.
Yeah, it's like, this is great because we used to have Encyclopedia Britannicals. They took up the entire bookshelf. Now we have this in the phone, but it's not making us any necessarily better. People are pissed off about dumb shit now, right?
I think another way you can get a good gauge on that one is the newer generation. If you got a son or a daughter within the age of 11 to 15, watch them lose their phone for a day. Watch them lose their charger for a day.
100%, man.
My goodness.
Well,
talk about the disconnect.
Any CEO, I've heard that any Silicon Valley CEO or just like executive, big rich like computer tech guy, they don't let their kids have cell phones, period. Like, and these are like billionaires. Like, they're just like, they see what it does. So it's kind of like a weapon.
It ruins your
almost.
brain.
You give it to them, they'll be all distracted. They're not going to fucking see what's actually going on.
You're both hitting on something key here because I got a 16-year-old son, and I was giving his girlfriend a ride home the other night, and both were in the car, obviously, and we started talking about something, and I brought up Rome, and I asked him, you know where that is? And my son's like, wasn't that like near Sparta, like Greece? And I'm like, no, I mean, like, you're in the right part of the world, but, and they couldn't really figure it out. But once I said it, they're like, oh, yeah. And I held up my cell phone and I said, here's the problem. I go, you got anything you want to know at your fingertips. And I go, and you look it up, you get the answer, and then you forget it. I go, you don't retain information like some of the older generations do.
Right.
And I go, it's because your brain isn't trained to. You read it, you toss it out. It's like single serving information.
Right.
You don't delve into it and like hold on to it.
Yeah, and there's got to be I guess a balance because that's That's what I have. Like, I can't barely read anymore because, like, I'm just looking for, like, I Google it, I look for one sentence, and then it's just like, oh, fuck, I gotta read a page.
Where's the audiobook? Like,
Oh, man.
but yeah, I mean, I thought that was an interesting video just because it kind of dealt with the ley lines, talked a little bit about, you know, what Tesla was trying to do, and it's pretty significant that all these different cultures from all around the world, granted Pangea split up, but I mean, we're talking, you go down to Mexico and the whole Aztec stuff, the pyramids, China, we're finding pyramids in North America. You know what I'm talking about? It's crazy. It's like they all align.
In Aurora, where police are now joining a regional.
All right, so this is the rest are yours.
Oh, yeah.
This is a recent topic.
This is a recurrent event.
Hey, gotta give props to moms.
Yeah. Shout out to his mom, Carlene. She told me about the second part of what we're going to talk about, how the Hell's Angels are basically doing the government's work. But yeah, these, you know, undocumented illegal aliens came across the border from Venezuela, and this Venezuelan gang has taken over apartment complexes, some businesses. They're actually even collecting rent and kicking people out. and they basically came in, took it by force. And the thing that I think is so scary about that is not only how brazen it is, but to do that in America, like, shows how weak we look to the outside world right now. Because a couple decades ago, nobody would come risking trying to take over a complex in America, because they'd be like, man, everybody's got guns.
Well, that's what my thought goes to. Like, don't we have guns though? Like, it's also, you mentioned squatter stuff. Are they staying like legally under squatters' rights or something?
They kicked even the owners out.
Okay.
And they're collecting rent on their behalf, not the owner's behalf.
Oh, okay. So it was a hostile
if
takeover.
people are moving in, they're like, we're allowing you to move in, but you're paying rent to us.
I just wouldn't move in. I'm not signing that lease.
Dude, and they're trying to, like, the government's trying to play it down, like the mayor and the governor are like, oh, it's squatter laws, blah blah blah, all this. What are you talking about? You're not taking care of your taxpayers and the people that voted you into office.
And this is
but you're catering to this?
Venezuela, huh? Well, let's take
in Aurora, where police are now joining a regional effort to address Venezuelan gang activity and other crimes involving migrant communities.
This is video of a jewelry store heist in nearby Denver, and it shows what police say are alleged members of that gang in action. And this is not the only crime under investigation. Fox 31's Nate Beld is speaking with Aurora's mayor tonight about this issue. He joins us live from the newsroom tonight. Nate.
Hey guys, the Aurora Police Department announced today that it's joining forces with Colorado State Patrol and the Bureau of Investigation to create a special task force to address the city's concerns about Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. APD says the task force's main goal will be to assist agencies around the area by maximizing resources and sharing intelligence in ongoing investigations. Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman says this task force has been discussed and even put into practice for a time already, and says one of their biggest efforts right now is engaging with and learning from the community.
Certainly there's a lot of Venezuelans that have been here for a long time, and they're not a part of that recent wave that came over. I mean, they came through sponsorships, and they were completely vetted when they came over. But whatever connections they have within this migrant community, to please urge them to cooperate with law enforcement.
Kaufman says he can't say too much about what the task force exactly will be doing so that there aren't any investigations that will be compromised, but he does say he believes that allocating more resources to this issue is necessary. He wants his residents to know it is something that he and APD are both taking.
Guys, they're migrants. They don't know any better. It's a, just give them a break. They'll catch on.
This is just the way it is.
Well, that's pretty wild.
No, just give them a break. Let them do what they got to do.
Those other videos actually show what they're really doing as far as that takeover.
So, but I guess back to my original question, you mentioned that they didn't do that in the past because they were afraid of the guns, but like, I mean, we do have guns everywhere per capita. We have a lot. Like, why don't people just do vigilante style? Like, is it because people don't want to risk their lives? Or
They
how
are.
does that? I'm not a gun owner. I genuinely
think
don't
that's
know.
what's
That's
there's
what's
a boiling
happening
point, and the
with the-
Hells Angels are just kicking it off right
Sure.
now.
So
Yeah.
so
Once
the
they
guns
set
are
it,
more
it
of a
takes one.
more of a self-defense thing rather than an offensive security. Is that the? Have you,
So it's at a boiling point. People are pissed.
Yeah,
It's just
and-
going to take one for it to pop off, and the Hells Angels, I think they're about to let her rip.
I mean,
the
guess time will
Mongols are
tell.
rolling with them.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's going to unite all the biker gangs of the world.
No, that's a
Peace
biker
and
gang is
biker.
called the Mongols.
Yeah.
Hells Angel.
It's my thing is I mean obviously
Hells
the system
Angels
we
are
have
gonna
in
be the
place
heroes.
isn't acting very quickly, and then this shit's happening, which is bullshit. But
But here's the point. Like, think about this. Let's say you're going to move to Germany or move to Soviet or not Russia. You know, you're going to go to a different country. You're going to assimilate, right? Would you have the guts to go over to any country and try
Russia.
to just take over a town? I think personally that shows how weak America appears to these other countries. Like they ain't doing nothing, and their government's going to protect us while we do it.
So I
we
think
can
it's
do
the
whatever we want.
criminal mentality. It's like people will do those things because they don't do them if they don't think they'll work. So that's probably the motivation.
Exactly.
And it's,
Right.
you know, yeah.
Exactly.
Who's
So,
going to stop us? Nobody's doing anything. They didn't even send in the National Guard.
all right, I'm going to skip these. We don't want to get too political, right? Like we got to,
Yeah.
you know, let's keep
True
it.
story.
Yeah. So here, I want to jump over to mine quick. Let's go here. And
Well, those are the
where's
videos of them taking over the apartment buildings.
mine? Ooh, we'll watch it next time. We got to keep rolling here. I'm going to go.
When
Jordan.
people found out about
This is a
what was going
Foxconn
on
thing.
at the Foxconn factories that were making iPhones, that they
That's
had
supposed to happen,
fences
huh?
and nets
Yeah.
all set up around the roof to keep people from jumping off.
Suicide nets?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You never seen it? Show those images. So instead of fixing it, they said, let's just make it harder to die. Do those nets. That's all the stuff. That's how many people are trying to kill themselves. Because you're working 16 hours a day, you sleep there, they have dormitories, and this is why your phone costs X instead of Y.
Menu game.
Isn't that wild? Ooh, these guys are
I
good.
remember when that happened.
I love them.
I
You know,
remember
the
they put-
butterflies.
Yeah, but it's the truth. It's like, you know, these phones are great, but the reason that we get them for the price that we do, because these are most people don't realize that phones are better than. No, it's not necessarily that they're cheap. They are, but you know, most phones are more powerful than most people's computers. You know, like your laptop, your phone's probably got a better processor than most laptops that were made. I mean, in the last couple of years, and it's just, I don't know, they're modern marvels. But yeah, that's the price. They don't fix the problem. They just make it harder for them to kill themselves. That's crazy, dude.
No,
That's crazy.
I honestly
insane.
do remember when they first started putting up those nets.
Yeah.
And my mind is being blown. Like,
Yeah.
you don't care about these people other than the fact that it makes your company look bad that they're killing themselves.
Right. At first you're like, oh, cool, yeah, less suicides. But then you're like, wait, you follow the thread and you're like, wait, why are they suicidal?
Right.
Oh, this is getting deep.
So they get, or you go to your job interview and you're like, I'd like a job here, and then they get hired. Like, yeah, you're hired. Just get your backpack and your clothes and all that, and we're gonna have a little stayover for the orientation, and then they lock the door behind them. They're like, gotcha, bitch.
Right? Yeah, it's all part of the contract you signed. We can do this. It's perfectly fine. Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy though, like thinking about how it is in like Eastern Asia as far as the work culture is, because I've seen actually not only ghost cities but running cities where they're not only just tons of apartment complexes that are like skyscrapers, and everybody that lives within these cities work for the company or the manufacturer or whatever, and they're packed in there like 10 people to an apartment type thing. Like there's no, and they're not big apartments, they're small. There's like beds stacked on top of beds on beds.
And we had seen that before, even in America, but not on anywhere near that scale. You know, they used to have mining towns and stuff like that, but those are little towns, like Little House on the Prairie, not skyscrapers full of thousands of people. It's wild.
Yeah, it blew my mind when I saw it, because to fathom something like that and have it be normal.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Yeah, I'll bring up one of the cobalt. Is it cobalt? It's one of those heavy metal mines that they use for lithium. Maybe it's lithium or cobalt.
In
and
Africa?
it's just it's extremely toxic. Some third world place where it's just an open mine. There's no machinery. It's just thousands of people with like bare feet in a highly toxic environment trying to get a few pennies. It's fucking
They got
wild.
kids doing it and stuff.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. Kids can get really into those nooks and crannies.
Count your blessings.
I know,
Glad
for
in
sure.
America.
It's true. Have you guys heard of MenuGate? This is a good one. I'm sure you have.
MenuGate, is this where they leave all these pamphlets of the menus?
Dude.
MenuGate, have you heard of that?
MenuGate? I had a story about this.
This man, his name is Cody, lives in Atlanta. He walked out of his apartment and noticed every single door in his hallway had a Chinese menu. 3 days later, it's still there. And he's like, everyone in my hall has not opened their door. And then 5 days, still there. So he went down to the parking garage and he looked at the cars, covered in dust. And he's like, that's weird. And then he's like, okay, this is like freaking me out a little bit. Went through his whole apartment building, couldn't find a fire alarm. Finally, like, found one. He's like, I need to know. Pulls it. There's supposed to be 800 people living in this apartment building. No one came out.
Because he had previously checked, he'd gone outside at night, and there were lights on.
Yeah.
Like something's going on.
He went out into his local nook where his apartment was. Every like coffee shop and place that he went to, there was always one man in there wearing a suit, talking on the phone. He said these men were all saying the same thing into the phone. And he's just like, am I living in a simulation? What is this?
Crazy, dude.
Okay.
I heard about this guy that I guess he might have been the owner of that building.
Okay. It's weird.
That's what I heard, that maybe he staged this.
That took a total like U-turn on me because I was gonna say earlier today when I was just mowing my parents' lawn, there's a Chinese dude rolled up putting Chinese menus in all the mailboxes, you know, and like takeout ones. And I thought like this was gonna be a thing saying like we're seeing a rise in like this people doing this, and all of a sudden you just took me over to the Black Mirror, you know what I mean? Like,
story, dude.
I don't even know.
I know one of them dudes on the phone like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because I can picture apartment buildings like that, big ones and stuff, you know, I've probably lived in one time or another, but like, you know, you see the Chinese menu in the door, sometimes they're there for longer, but like I never really paid much attention to it, but like it's got relatable vibes, right? Like everybody's seen a menu in a door and it's just like, you don't think much of it, but
Bro,
yeah.
I got, there's like 240 apartments where I live. And even in that size, like 5 stories, if I saw something like that, I would think like the apocalypse happened. I'm like last man standing. Like that would freak me out. Especially seeing the dust on the cars. Like, because 5 days?
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Like, I know how the exhaust collects under. I have underground parking. Like, but not in 5 days, man.
No. Well, it'll make you be a little bit more,
I want to look more into it. Like, I'm already like hooked.
Now you're going to have your eye for it.
That story's a trip.
This last one is, all right, this one, I kind of want to end it on I don't know, not like a lighter note, but this is a perfect example of a complete misunderstanding of something like ChatGPT or AI. People just, they're one and the same. But I just want to bring things back down to earth because I've seen podcasts like Joe Rogan, for example, when he gets on tangents talking to people that don't know, he doesn't know. He talks to people that know, but he doesn't know. And he gets these ideas and then it's very easy to run out of control. But this guy, I want to watch this and then just talk about why this is obnoxiously ridiculous.
He hacked and looked at all of the code of ChatGPT and figured out that ChatGPT isn't a computer-generated system.
What is it?
It's actually someone's soul. Yo, that's what do you mean that's someone's soul? Check this out. So they have the technology to take people's souls and consciousness and put it into technology. Now, this is where it's right? If there's a scientist that knows and he's like a great inventor,
Yeah.
you would want to hold on to him as long as you can so that you can reap the benefits of later. Just like in Captain America, there was a scientist that created the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
It kept his consciousness within the computer, so he lives forever through a computer. Now, theory is ChatGPT is exactly that. It may not be just one soul that's in it, but countless souls, and that keeps getting added to. He hacked.
Okay.
That's a trip, but it's
no. So
No.
it's not souls.
No.
I have two major problems with this. One, it's not souls. It's math. It's just math. That's all it is. It's just math. We can get into the details, but then also the idea of taking one good scientist and then be like, we want to keep him forever, get all of his ideas, like Elon Musk. That kind of goes, I mean, yeah, sure, you might be able to do that, but like, I mean, things need to evolve. And if you have one guy that's thinking one way, he might have had some bangers, but like, you know, if Albert Einstein was still around today, like in a jar, and we're getting ideas from him, we probably wouldn't have a ton of ideas because we'd be lazy and we'd just be waiting for Albert Einstein in a jar. Yeah, Elon Musk might not be trying as hard because we've got Albert Einstein in a jar. It's like we need science to evolve, and you don't get that just by hanging on to one thing. This guy's ridiculous. Not a word that he said was valid.
It's super hilarious. He did say something that kind of cracked me up, and it do you guys ever see Altered Carbon?
Oh yeah, that's a good
where
one.
they keep that disc in their neck that holds their like consciousness of their soul or whatever. And it kind of was cracking me up the way he was talking about it. It almost sounded like the same thing. Like we're just throwing a bunch of them in here, and
so in a
Those guys are
nutshell,
entertaining. I like how excited they get about every story.
let me do this real quick. Let me see if I can just conceptualize this. So here, we got this right here. We got this. All right, can I draw? Okay, I can draw a little thing. Nice. So any AI currently, just a generative model, if we have the word the, THE, this is just a series of letters. If we assign numbers to each of these, so this would be, let's see, 1, this would be 2, this would be 3. We can start to build patterns. So if we see 1, 2, 3, that means the. When they say training AI, that, you know, the Library of Congress is basically every book that's ever been written or published is in it. So that's a good place to kind of just jump off of. If you take the Library of Congress, every book in it, and you just have, you know, one book, it's just like, you know, if you open up a notepad document in the computer, right? And you just open up a text of Moby Dick, and it's just, you know, there's Moby Dick. And then the second book is in there. And it's hard to kind of think of, because this has to do with like where you're talking about as many letters total that there are grains of sand on all the beaches in the world. Kind of, it's a lot, but that's like, if it's a finite number. It's a lot, but if you take every book, just go back to back and just have a giant file, it would be a really big file on your computer, and you know, you'd have the big, you know, it just bang.
right. I'm feeling what you're saying.
So all AI is once you have a block that's that big, you can start to see the relationship between letters. So we have all, I don't know what these would be. So this would be 1, 2, 3, and then it can sort of guess what the next letter is going to be, and then subsequently the next word. So all AI is, it's not a soul, it's not a being, it's not a life form. It's just a computer running a prompt that you give it against all the training data, the Library of Congress, and saying, okay, based on what I know about how these letters all work together, it's very likely that the next word in this is going to be a T, because it's just seen that a lot before. So the THEO, and you can have any prompt right here. This is just a prompt. That's how they work. They don't just do things automatically. You need to you need to give them information to work with. They're not autonomous. You feed it some input and it gives you some output. And that's basically how it works. They're really impressive. But here, the last thing that I want to do is this really simple, quick demo. ChatGPT.com. And I think I brought this up yesterday. So here, let's close this. I'm gonna go, how many R's are in the word strawberry? The word strawberry contains 2 R's.
Wrong.
Wrong? Yeah, I agree. Let's run that again. So if we go here, you just send it again. 2 R's. Wrong again. We're going to do this a few times. Strawberry. There are 3 R's in the word strawberry. Okay, I got it. 1 out of 3. Let's keep it going. One more time. And this is just a simple demo. 2 R's, and there are 3 R's. So you can see, very simple question. We asked it 5 times. We've gotten 2 different answers. It's been right 2 times. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? It has to do with the fact that AI or ChatGPT, any of these things are based on approximation and not being exact. They're really good at certain things. Like you can say, give me your recipe ideas and a shopping list for the rest of the week. It'll do a great job at that. But when you try to get an exact answer out of it, you're going to have a bad time. This is just like an inherent flaw, and you can do this with other words too, but it's just an example to show that it's not a life form, it's just math, and it's not a perfect science either. It's going to get better, but right now this is just the state of it. I mean, eventually we'll have those dogs rolling around.
That goes with like the photos that you tell it to make too, from like a photo of like ancient giants back in the day. There's something always messed up with them. Like it's got 6 fingers.
Their eyes look weird. The eye, I think that's called the uncanny valley.
But like they're just like small pointers that you can tell. Like, what's up there? Their eyes look messed up. Or
it's like it doesn't get the assignment.
Standing next to him in the corner has got a nose that goes up like that.
Right. Exactly.
I'll tell you though, I do got a sick photo of Joe Biden sipping lean. So. He's got the purple drink with the double cup. He's just partying. But I was going to say, one thing is really crazy. This is a while back, and I don't think he ever went through with it, but one of the founders of Google actually was going to make his own ChatGPT type thing back then. Mm-hmm. And what he was going to do is use the AI not only to help you do things like this or whatever you chose to do with it, but it would learn, analyze, and appeal to the individual user. Mm-hmm. So let's say you're a Muslim, I'm Christian, he's atheist, or whatever the case may be. It would start appealing, so the answers that it would give you would start appealing to what you like and accept most. So like if it was political, it would lean towards those type of answers, lean towards your religion, lean towards your orientation, race, whatever, and it would just cater things for the individual user.
Right.
And he was going to call the program God.
That's a bad move.
Right. And like, I'm just going to take this on a little dark spin here. Is I shouldn't say way before I heard this, but a few years before I heard this, I was talking to somebody about the Antichrist, and I'm like, let's say the Antichrist returns. I go, who says it's going to be a person? Maybe it's an AI system. And then when he was talking about that, I'm like, that would be the perfect way to, like, I'm bringing everybody together. Everybody's getting different answers and talked to differently, but they think, hey, this guy knows everything. And they're all appealing like, yes, we got to follow this system.
Absolutely. It doesn't take much to get people on board with an idea, as long as it's believable, I guess, as long as it's packaged up good.
And as long as it fits in their little rigid belief system.
Google's version of ChatGPT that they're trying to was making this. If you type in to look up like old school Vikings,
everybody was like black.
Everybody was black. All the Vikings were
black. Show me a picture of World War II Nazis. Just a bunch of black guys. And
George Washington was black.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That was
It's
Google going political with
it's
their
too
chat
woke.
GPT.
It caught the woke mind virus. Like it can't show white people because it's even if it's historically accurate, it's fucked up.
It caught the woke mind virus.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's what happened, right? Like,
But what about me?
yeah, don't want to offend anybody.
Scottish blood in me is getting angry.
Oh man. Well, fellas.
Well, yeah, pretty good sesh.
Round 2 in the books. Be sure to subscribe. Tell your friends, your mom, your dog, your cats, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmammy.
It lasted everywhere.
That's what we'll leave a comment. Talk about what AI is your favorite in the comments. Thanks.
That was it.
Should I close it? Stop recording. Boom.